And we are streaming. I really hope they fixed like the massive delay on YouTube. I have no idea if anyone's watching yet, but if you are, welcome. It's been a while. And really, you may be asking yourself, what's the point of this stream?
Like the massive
yeah. You may be asking yourself, what's the point of this stream? And really, there is no point. We're just kind of testing the waters again. It's been a long time since we've done a live stream, so we're just kind of here making sure everything works. And our producer, Terrell, of course, I say our producer, but today it's just me. Dante is on his way home, so I don't think he'll be joining us today. This is just a quick stream. But Terrell, the person that I'm sure you all know, produces Tech Habit Weekly, the long lost podcast. He's been upgraded to Google Fiber today, and yeah, I'm very jealous. Although I can't complain because I do have Verizon Fios and I have a 50 down, 50 up connection, which I think is remarkable compared to what I've been used to in the past. But to know that he has a gigabit or up and down is just insane. So I'm pretty jealous of that. But like I said, I can't complain with 50 down and 50 up, 50 meg. So I'm pretty happy. But if I could have Google Fiber, I'd be very happy. So just a few guys in the comments here. Fat Mike 371, Tech and Gameplays by Alec and Matt, and 355 NR. Oh hi. Do a what's on my Hackintosh or OS 10. I probably will do that. And really quick, I do apologize very much for like the complete lack of any content on my part. Life has been insanely busy. In the last month and a half, give or take, I've gotten a job. Well, first, I graduated college back in May. It took me a couple weeks. I applied to a few places. I ended up landing 2 jobs in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and so I had to choose between which job I wanted to take. And there was pros to each, there was cons to each, and so it was a big decision that I had to make. So I ended up picking the one job, and so then after getting the job, I had to go through all the paperwork, and then I had to pack everything and move everything. And then, my first day on the job, my car died. My exhaust system, the catalytic converter to like almost all the way back, just rotted off. That whole middle pipe just fell off. And I mean, if you guys have been watching me for a while, which I'm sure if you're in this chat, you have been, and I thank you very much for that, you'll know that I drive a 98 Honda Civic, or I drove a 98 Honda Civic, and I've had so many issues with it. I've had to, since May of 2013, I've had to replace the engine. I've had to replace the clutch, the oxygen sensor, the brake pads, rotors, alternator, like basically everything. And so it was a very expensive year for me in auto parts. So when this happened, when my exhaust just rotted off and it was going to be like $600 to fix, I was like, no, I'm not fixing this car. I'm listing it on Craigslist. I'm selling it, and hopefully I'll be doing that tomorrow. I have a guy interested, cash in hand, taking it as it is. He knows what's wrong with it. He knows the issues it has, but at the same time, he also knows all the work I've done to it in the last year. So there is value left in the car. So that whole thing happened, and now I'm in the process of getting a whole new car. And so those of you wondering, it's a 2012 Volkswagen GTI. I should have it by the end of this week if all the paperwork goes according to plan. We've had some issues with the bank because it's a private party, and so there's a whole process. And I'm not going to get into it, but basically what I'm trying to say is it's been a very busy month and a half, 2 months of my life. Even in May, I graduated college early May, and ever since then, I just haven't had much time. Once I got out of school, I had to start working constantly until I got a full-time job. just so I could pay my rent and everything like that. And I'm sure you guys that are my age, you know how that is. So once I got a full-time job, it was awesome, but it was also a huge life-changing thing. So I really haven't been able to get any content out on my YouTube channel. So that is going to be changing. However, I'm not dead. I didn't fall off the earth. I am going to get YouTube content back flowing. It's something that I really do enjoy. And so I didn't mean to kind of ditch you guys, but I will be having a formal, update, CPU kit update or a RocheTechnology update video coming to my channel very soon. My Hackintosh is still up and kicking. It's running right here. I have all 3 displays on the GTX 760, 12 gigs of RAM. I'm rocking the old X58 chipset still. I would like to build a new system, and if I do, you guys better believe I'm going to document every second of it. But first things first, I'm thinking of getting a new MacBook, like a Retina MacBook or a MacBook Air. I'm kind of in the middle of which one I want to do. And so go ahead and feel free to leave your guys' suggestions in the comments of which one you think I should go for. Me personally, I would love to have the power that the Retina offers. But I don't think I really, absolutely need it because I do have a desktop computer with pretty decent specs. And of course, it's the first generation i7, but it's still an i7 and it still gets videos cranked out in a pretty respectable amount of time. So I think the more I think about it, I just kind of want to let this dinosaur keep living and then just get like a nice MacBook, like a MacBook Air that's nice and portable, still has some really good specs, and I can still edit on the go. If I just want to lay down in my bed and edit, I can do that. But when it comes time to export, I can just shoot that project over to my main computer through my network and export it here and still continue to just use the MacBook. So I think that's the way I'm going to go, but feel free to leave your guys' suggestions in the comments. I know I posted this on Twitter. A lot of you guys say that you have Retinas and that you guys just love the Retina, and I think I would too, but I'd also love an Air. So post your 2 cents in the comments. But speaking of comments, I have a couple here. Yeah, Fat Mike 371. I want the fiber. Yeah, Terrell, we're pretty jealous of you. And Terrell, this is one time where during the show, Tech Heavy Weekly, you're always pretty quiet because you're running things, but this is just pretty laid back stream. So if you want to talk, feel free to set up a nice little Wirecast shot for yourself, and we can do some back and forth here. But 355 NR, tell him I'll trade him 10 down and 1 up for that. That's kind of the short side of the stick, sir. I don't think he'd like that. I don't think he'd appreciate that. I wish I could get like a happy medium. I love 50 down and I love 50 up. That's my current plan with Verizon Files. I don't think I would need Google Fiber, to be honest, but who doesn't want it, right? I'm not going to use a full gig up and down simultaneously every day, but it's the fact that you'll never run out of bandwidth that really is attractive. Tech and Gameplays by Alec and Mac. Oh, 290X can do dual monitor now in OS 10.10 public beta. Nice. I've actually really considered getting an AMD card only because of Final Cut. NVIDIA cards are really nice. They're really plug and play with OS 10 on the Hackintosh, which is really nice. But AMD, when it comes to Final Cut performance, I think Final Cut is pretty much built for AMD cards. So especially with the new Mac Pro with the dual Fire Pro cards. So yeah, I would really like to get an AMD card. So possible video on that in the future, potentially. Not a promise. I really want a Pro personally. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe like a MacBook Pro or Pro skateboarder. I don't know. MacBook Pro with a good GPU. Yeah, I think that's a pretty sweet spot right there. Try to find a good MacBook Pro on Amazon. I've considered it, but I would like to just buy right from the Apple Store. It's kind of like the Apple guy in me coming out. I kind of want that experience, but not a huge deal to me, to be honest. I just saw in the live video, our producer, or I should say my producer for the day, Terrell, was running the Yosemite beta, so the little volume up was different. Speaking of Yosemite though, have you guys been using it at all? Because I haven't. I just recently installed it like last week on my 2010 MacBook, and a lot of you guys know I have that. It runs pretty good on that. It runs better than I thought it would on that, but once again, I'd really like to have the speed of the MacBook Air with the PCI Express-based solid state. I haven't even really installed it on my Hackintosh. A lot of you guys did see my Yosemite 10.10 install when the beta came out. I never got around to installing like the public beta from the Apple seeding program on my Hackintosh just because I've been so busy and I haven't really honestly, like the past couple weeks, I've barely even looked at my monitors here. Like I've never even like really sat down and actually used it because I've been on the go so much. It's been really, really busy. So I just really kind of never got around to it. And I did get a lot of requests on Twitter of people asking if I could do an install of the Apple, the official like Apple public beta on a Hackintosh. But the more I thought about it, and I did not reply you guys back that requested this, saying that it's probably going to be the exact same process. So it really wasn't worthy of an entire new video because the same process would, the process would be the same. I'm actually not totally caught up on the Hackintosh world right now. I've actually been kind of out of it, like I said, this past couple months. So I don't know if Clover's still the only way that you can get it to boot or not. I really don't know. I've been slacking lately in the world of Hackintosh, if you want to say that. So, but I do want to get back into it. I'm trying to get back into it. And once the whole car thing calms down, and I'm already getting more and more used to my work schedule, and and if you guys know me, I'm a night owl. Like I will stay up constantly, especially through college. I would have an 8 a.m. class and I'd stay up until 5 in the morning, like easy. And I had to get 3 hours of sleep and be fine all day. Once I started this new job, I had to be at work at 8 and then work all day until 5. I started getting tired at like 9:30, and it was such a change that I just had to go to sleep. Like I couldn't handle it. But now I'm fine. My body's like starting to finally adjust, and I can stay up longer and longer and longer. So I'm starting to get back to that point where I can go to sleep at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and still be fine. But part of that might just be me getting a little bit older as well. So college days are over, and that's for the better because I don't miss college already. 355 NR. I have the Yosemite beta, but haven't really installed it on my Hackintosh yet. Tech and gameplay, everything works, Final Cut Pro, and all editing tools. So that's definitely an upgrade from the beta that I installed on video for you guys. At that point, Final Cut wouldn't work, and I know there were some workarounds that you could get it to work, but I just mean native right from the App Store, it wouldn't work. You can use Cam, I assume you mean Chameleon, but it sucks. Clover is at 2848. So I guess you can use other bootloaders to boot Yosemite, but apparently, as he said, it sucks. So I don't know. You can trust him, but I haven't got my hands on it enough to test it. So there's that. Terrell telling me to move my camera down. But yeah, go ahead and guys, post in the comments below. I mean, are you guys going back to school now? It's such a good feeling that I don't have to go back to school. If you know me, I've always hated school. Like I knew it was something important that I had to do and that I wanted to do it. And now that I have my diploma, it's just, I just don't miss it. Like I do not miss having to schedule my classes. I don't miss having to wake up early and have a bunch of homework when I get home after I've already been working all day. Now at work, I just kind of wake up at 8, I'm home at 5, and anything after 5 is just whatever I want to do, and I wake up and do it again. It's something that I've waited for the last 4 years of school, and me and school have never gotten along. I'm not a bad student. I did get good grades, not the best grades. I'm not a straight A student or anything. Not even close actually. My GPA, I ended up I think finishing around like a 3.0, so mostly B's, a couple A's here and there, a couple C's, but I'd say I'm your typical student, but. I always like to focus more on, especially like high school, like late high school and like early to mid college. I focused a lot more on YouTube than I did actually my classes. So, but it all worked out, and it was all worth it because at my new job, actually, they have a SharePoint website that they just now rolled out to the entire organization, and they love that I can do YouTube stuff. Like that's something that my boss that actually ended up hiring me really loved. So, if you guys are thinking about getting into YouTube, do it, because even if you don't want to make a career out of it, it's still really good to get yourself out there, and future employers, they can see you. They can see right there that you know your stuff, and they'll scoop you up. And that's pretty much what happened to me. Like now, the past couple days, I mean, they bought me a Creative Cloud license, and I've been using Premiere and I've been editing and stuff, and it's like I would do this for free, and here I am doing it on the clock, getting paid very well. And it's just a really, really great job. And YouTube, I think, definitely made that possible. So if you guys are at all thinking of getting into YouTube, even like I said, even if, ad revenue I know has gone like this the past couple years, it's just nothing compared to what it used to be. So, don't let that deter you though. I mean, do it if you enjoy it, because like I said, I would do this stuff if I did it for free. It's nice that I get some ad revenue from it. It does help pay for the bills and that stuff, but I would do it for free because I just genuinely like doing it. But you can really get yourself out there and land yourself the job that is just perfect for you. And without doing that, my boss, I don't think would have ever really looked at me any different than any other application that he got in. But he saw the YouTube stuff. He just Googled my name, found RocheTechnology, and he just loved what he saw. Even though they're a Windows environment and I post Hackintosh stuff, it transfers very well. I mean, if you know Hackintosh, generally you know your Windows pretty well. So, it's just kind of one of those things that, and my boss and me are like this. I mean, we just hit it off right from the interview, and it's a really great job. So, lesson of the day, do YouTube if you enjoy it, because outside of YouTube, it can also really help you if you want to get, a 9 to 5 job. It could really help you there. Tech and gameplay, so badly bugged out, it requires too much config. I assume you're talking about Chameleon. Once again, I don't really know. I'd have to use it. Intel NUC. I would like to get my hands on a NUC. I think I have seen a couple people Hackintosh a NUC. It'd be definitely a really fun project. It's like smaller than a Mac Mini, so I think that'd be a really neat project. Daniel Lowe, long time no see. Yeah, trust me, I know. This stream is being recorded. I'll probably post it to my channel. I don't see why not. So you can get the scoop of where I've been and kind of why I took a little break from YouTube, kind of a mandatory break. Not that I really wanted to, but it was a nice break, because once you start doing YouTube, it is a lot of work to get stuff edited and write blog posts for it, and then it's just a lot of work. And so it is nice to step back, take a little break from it. So, but it's definitely one of those things that it's always going to have a soft spot in my heart. I mean, I'll probably be like 65 on YouTube, like assuming video is still a thing in 40 years. Will the Hackintosh tips keep coming for when Yosemite is released? Yes, they will. As I was saying, Daniel, I don't think you were here, but I do want to get back more to YouTube and just posting stuff on a more regular basis. And once again, if you watch the this stream when it's actually posted to my channel, the recorded version, you'll kind of get why I took that little break and stuff. So it's not that I'm sick of YouTube and I'm just never doing it again, because I really do love it. And so I love talking to you guys. I love giving you guys tips and tricks and just talking with you guys in a stream like this. So yeah, they will definitely keep coming, as will all the other videos as well. Is the NUC so good for a Hackintosh from Marcelo? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the exact specs of it, but like I said, I know that people have done it or at least attempted it. From RC Cars 5, I saw on the Tony Mac x86 forums, someone put a NUC in an old iMac and installed 10.9.4. That's pretty sweet. That'd be a really neat project. RC Cars, I'm not sure if YouTube allows you to post links. I really don't know. But if they do, feel free to post that, because that's definitely interesting. Fat Mike 371, I love uploading YouTube videos. There you go. Yeah, it's definitely a really, really interesting place to be. And it's something that a lot of employers look at and say, wow, like you basically do work on your free time. Like you go out, you branch out, and you learn about stuff when you could just be kicking back watching TV. Employers love YouTubers, assuming, I mean, I went for a tech job, obviously. I'm in IT now. And so, they love that a guy can, especially like, I really have never made a YouTube video on ESXi as much as I wanted to. I just never had the time, and hopefully that is coming though. I really do want to make that happen. But in the interview, we brought up ESXi, and they use ESXi, and I told them about the little machine I built for it, and we just, like I said, we just kind of hit it off like right in the interview. So I think it's just a perfect job for me, and so it definitely has a lot of places that it can go. There's tier 1 support, which I'm kind of in now, just the basic IT stuff. Hey, my computer's doing this, fix it. Why isn't this printer on the print server? Add it. Things like that. But then there's tier 2, tier 3, which gets to like the really advanced stuff. The really high-end server configurations, and like I'm eventually want to be at that point. Learning all of that stuff, and so I think this job is definitely right up my alley. So once again, do YouTube if it at all interests you. Even if you don't want to make money off YouTube, if you don't want to make a new career, absolutely do it, because it's definitely worth it. It's really nice for employers to see And they can look back at your channel and see where you started at, and over in this amount of time, you've learned all this stuff, and it really sticks out to them. I saw something similar. Someone put an Intel NUC in an iMac G3. That'd be pretty sweet. I still have my iMac G3, although new place, it's not over there anymore. So it's actually, you can't see it, it's in the other room, but I'm still looking to move decorations around and stuff. So this is kind of like, it's pretty basic setup. You know, it's got a closet and my big old YouTube light there. Tech and gameplay. I was lucky I was sent a code to review Parallels Desktop 10. That's awesome. Parallels is fantastic. It's such a great piece of software. I'm actually running it right now. You guys can't see it. Although I could. Let me see here. I could share my screen. Oh, I turned my video off. Didn't mean to do that. Wow, yeah, they changed Skype completely. I haven't used it in a couple months. But yeah, I guess you guys have to take my word for it. I don't feel like fumbling around and turning my video off anymore. But Parallels is definitely great. I'm running 9 right now. I don't know exactly what 10 offers at this point for me if I were to really want to go out and upgrade to the latest version. But you know, I'm very happy with Parallels 9. Have you bought a real Mac recently from Baby-Faced Assassin 01? No, I have not, but I am thinking about it. I'm kind of torn right now between a MacBook Pro with Retina, like going all out, top of the line model, which I think starts at like $25.99. I'm debating on that or a MacBook Air. I'm leaning more towards the MacBook Air just because I don't think I really absolutely need to have all that power on the go. So I think a MacBook Air would be kind of a nice system that I can still edit on. And then when it comes time that I want to export stuff, I could just connect it to my network here, my local network, shoot it across onto my Hackintosh and let it export here and still have, you know, a freed up CPU on the MacBook. But it's still plenty fast enough to actually do the editing process, just chopping clips. Are you still running the old Socket 2011 system? My system's actually a Socket 1366. I don't think they even make that anymore, even on like Xeon level stuff. It's all 2011 now. But yes, I'm still running my Dinosaur that I built in 2010. So it's coming up on its 4th birthday. From Ryan. Hi Bob, I'm trying to build a Hackintosh. I have the computer built and running Windows, but when I try to run the OS 10 install, it just sits on the Apple logo. You're going to want to do a verbose boot. When it gets to the bootloader, I assume you're using the Unibeast method. You're going to want to do a -V kernel flag, and when you do that, it'll probably freeze on something. Depending on the GPU you have, it's probably a graphics enabler problem. Like for example, if you have because I know that if you use the multi-beast utility, or Unibeast rather, that defaults to graphics enabler equals no. So if you, for some reason, you know, have a card that requires yes, then you're not going to see anything. It'll probably just kind of stay there on the Apple logo, despite the OS actually being loaded in the back. So just kind of play with it. That's kind of the fun of the Hackintosh. You got to kind of really diagnose stuff on your own. And so that's the way that I feel that you learn the most about computers, is just doing it. So but based on your particular situation, if it's like a Socket 2011 build, you might have to do some different kernel flags, like npci equals 0x2000, PCI root UID equals 0. There's a bunch of other things that you can try. But it's really hard to say, you know, without, I don't know your hardware specs, I don't know the GPU, you know, the motherboard, socket even, so it's hard to say, but those are the things that I would try first. Definitely do a verbose boot, -V, that's your best friend when it comes to kernel flags, trust me. 10, is it worth it? I assume you're talking about Parallels. And 10, if it's worth it, I really don't know. But yeah, so how was your guys' summer? I know a lot of you guys are going back to school. Like I said, I'm really glad I'm not going back to school. Once I graduated, I was like, that's it. I don't want to go back. I don't want another degree. As long as I'm making decent money, I can support myself and my girlfriend and still live pretty comfortably. There's no need in my mind at all to ever get another degree, ever. I would, however, like some Cisco certifications. I am looking into that, and I know I'm pretty sure my company that I work for, if I want to do that, they will pay for it, which I think would just be awesome. So I'm definitely looking to go that route, but I'm not quite ready yet. I'm still kind of getting settled in and everything and just getting used to the job, so I don't want to go overload myself. Jordan Rebello, he's back. Yes. Tech and gameplay. Parallels Desktop 10 is better with energy and faster, and takes Yosemite's features and brings them to Windows. That's very interesting. I'd have to see that. That'd be really neat. But I know that's how Parallels 9 was for Mavericks. It was like a lot more power efficient, and that was like one of the biggest features of Mavericks was power efficiency. So naturally, that was going to be a feature in the next version of Parallels, and it was. Summer was way too short. Yeah, it was. And I'm in PAs, and this summer, I mean, a lot of you guys probably know that the last winter that we had in PA, like this past winter, was disgustingly terrible. We got to like, it was the polar vortex as they call it, and we'd be seeing negative 20 degrees, and I mean, just snow all over the place. And I was like, if I'm gonna wake up and go to school like this every day, I better at least have an awesome summer. And I didn't. This summer was really cold. It averaged like 60 degrees, I would say. And right now it's pretty nice. Let me check my little dashboard widget here. Right now it's 84, which is like, yes, like it's awesome. But today has been kind of weird compared to how it's been. This summer has been terrible. It's been really lackluster, and it makes me mad. So I really hope you have a nice, mellow winter. I don't want to be snowed in my house. I don't want to be driving when it's negative 20. I don't want that. And I probably just cursed myself, but knock on wood. Yes, I agree. Summer was way too short. I got my Hackintosh up and running, and it's awesome. Brick Productions, yes. VMware Fusion over Parallels. I don't know. VMware is pretty awesome. Like I really love ESXi. I really love learning on it. But in terms of just everyday use and the integration that it has with OS 10, I can't recommend Parallels enough. VMware Fusion's not bad at all, and it's like let's see here, tech and gameplay. VMware Fusion is a ton slower and less featured. To each their own. I mean, it probably depends on your hardware configuration. It depends what OSs that you're virtualizing. There's a lot of factors there. VMware is definitely very good, and like Jordan says, VMware is everywhere. I mean, it's kind of like the Windows of virtualization. It's just everywhere. Like everyone uses VMware. But in terms of overall usability, with my OS 10 apps, like the fact that I can put Parallels in coherence mode and have a Windows Explorer and a Finder window right next to each other and be able to drag and drop stuff between them, and being able to import Mac stuff, into a Windows application. Like there's just no better integration than that. So Parallels has my heart in terms of overall usability, but for like testing environments and things like that, definitely VMware, because it's just more standard. But like I said, each their own. Every person has their own workflow. So it really depends on the type of person you are and what you're trying to achieve with your virtualization. Everywhere but my desktop. I don't know what you're talking about. Semskier, when's the next Tech Habit Weekly, or as I call it, TH Dubs? To be determined. I know Dante is still in school. He's getting ready to take his finals because he went to school like a trooper all throughout the summer, so he's been very busy. So we should be getting back into Tech Habit Weekly pretty soon here now that fall is setting in, unfortunately. Not unfortunately for the show. But yeah, we do really want to resume Tech Habit Weekly. We apologize once again for the hiatus, so just kind of is how it is. But yeah, we're looking to get back into it now that everyone's schedules, our producer Terrell's, Dante's, and myself, all of our schedules now are kind of winding down. We're all getting back into a regular routine, and so the show should resume, we hope, in just within the next couple weeks. To each their own, but it's extremely nice to be able to create a VMware image under OS 10 and import it into Workstation. That's very nice if you want to do that kind of thing. Not everyone does. Not everyone wants to be cross-platform like that. They just want to run Windows next to their OS 10. And then for that, I think Parallels has hands down the best integration. Is it true that Terrell has Google Fiber, and what's your new file speeds? I'm kind of bitter about this. So Terrell, if you're watching, or if you're just kind of letting the stream go, but if you're in the room, you can tell him yourself, because I'm still kind of bitter towards that.
Yeah,
Andrew Colburn, how was Walter? Oh, you in person. Yeah, Andrew Colburn in the chat. He's actually my sister's boyfriend. He's a very cool guy. He's a geek like the rest of us. So shout out to you.
Yeah,
Vladimir was pretty sweet.
I do have Google.
It's been a long first time this year, actually, that I went. The only time this year. So it was fun. VMware is better on Windows. I haven't used it too much on OS 10, so I can't really say, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. Brick Productions took a while, but the performance compared is amazing. 3 times better performance at least. I assume we're talking about Parallels versus VMware. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. Fat Mike 371. I installed OS 10 Snow Leopard on my Dell Latitude E4300 and dual boots 10.6 and Ubuntu 14.4. That's a pretty interesting and unique configuration. Once again, I never really recommend installing OS 10 on a laptop, but to each their own, and some people have great experiences with it. Me, myself, personally, not into it, because if I don't have the multi-touch trackpad, there's no point of having a MacBook. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion. I've just become that attached to a trackpad. You know, I have the desktop version, I have it on my laptop, and so if I don't have it, I feel weird. I don't like that. VMware has continuity. Not sure what that is. If it's maybe kind of like a form of coherence that Parallels has. If so, that'd be pretty sweet. I didn't know that. UEFI Clover is now 2850, so there's a newer version of it out. Not sure what the difference is between the versions. They're probably pretty subtle, a couple things here and there. Are you still using OS 10.10? And if so, Clover or Chameleon? And how the blank do I get iMessage to work? iMessage can definitely be very frustrating. That's probably one of the most complicated things to get working on a Hackintosh, and it really greatly depends what bootloader you use. That's kind of the key. Me myself, I am not using Yosemite. I'm using Mavericks. I do have Yosemite on my MacBook, but soon after Yosemite came out, the beta that I did the video on for you guys, I just downgraded back to Mavericks because it just wasn't ready yet, and you know, I went into it knowing that, of course. You know, I created backups and whatnot. But you know, I just wanted Mavericks back. It just wasn't ready yet, and so I'm not running Yosemite. I'm running Mavericks, but as far as I know, it's definitely a lot better now. Yeah, but iMessage, I'm using Chameleon actually with the NVRAM enabler in the actual installer. So there's that. To get iMessage to work, call Apple. That's probably not the best idea. Andy Gonzalez, you're ugly. Under Yosemite, yeah, under Yosemite. Last I knew, it was different. There's been a lot of people that I've heard saying that even if you're using Chameleon, they can't get their iMessage to work in Yosemite. So it just kind of depends on your hardware. It depends on a lot of things. As a fellow Creative Cloud user, I was wondering if you ever tried using Adobe Prelude. Great little app that gets ignored a lot. It lets you bins and amp. I mean, it's some kind of like HTML or something. So it lets you comment on footage before bringing it into Premiere. I've not used it. I've heard of it, but I've not used it. I'm not sure if I'd really have that much of a use for it with just the workflow that I have in Premiere. I'm still definitely a Final Cut guy. I've used Premiere, like I said, I use it a lot lately for work. So I mean, I know how to use it. I used to use Premiere back before I had a Hackintosh. I just prefer Final Cut. You know, the compound clips are really nice. I'm just really used to the keyboard shortcuts, to be honest. I mean, it's how it is. I mean, if you get used to something, it kind of sucks to change. And so I think I'll always be more of a Final Cut 10 guy than a Premiere guy, even though Premiere, it is more of a, quote, professional editor. You can do a bit more stuff with it, of course, but I just like Final Cut. I've just become so used to Final Cut, and I think the interface is a little bit better. It may not have as many features, but for the videos that I do, I don't need all those features anyway. So I think Final Cut's a really, really nice program for the type of videos that I make. So, but yeah, Prelude, I'll check it out. I'm sure they have a free trial of it, but whether I'll actually use it on a day-to-day basis, I don't really know. Oh, Andy, I'm doing me. I'm doing me. iPhone 6, are you excited? Funny story about the iPhone 6. The company I work for, they're actually going to be covering my phone. They're going to give me a company phone, and I had the choice, of course. I could choose whatever phone I'd like, you know, whether it was an iPhone, a Windows phone, or some Android phone. And basically what happened is they gave me an iPhone 4S temporarily. So right now I'm carrying two phones. I have a work phone, which is an iPhone 4S, and my phone, my personal phone, which is a 5S. So there's a huge difference there. But my boss is so awesome that he's actually going to let me use a company upgrade to get the iPhone 6, and then I'm going to go on the company's plan. So I'm going to get an iPhone 6, and yes, I am very excited. I assume all the rumors are true, assuming that it's going to have the bigger screen and all that fun stuff. And so I think the 4.7 inch is going to be a pretty sweet spot for me. I really like the bigger screen. So far, I haven't seen it, obviously. I haven't held it in my hands or anything, but I'm definitely excited for the next iPhone. Have I decided if I'm getting a Retina MacBook? I haven't. I'm still torn between the Air, like a pretty close to top of the line Air, or a top of the line Retina. I'm pretty much sure that I'm leaning towards the Air still. I just don't think I need that much power on the go, because on an Air it still has enough power where you can edit fine. It's just that the export times would be slow. So I think that I'd rather spend less money, have a MacBook Air that's more portable, has a better battery life, and I can edit there, and then I can do the exporting on my Hackintosh system. I can just send it over. So I think I'm leaning more towards the MacBook Air. Sadly, it's the only way to get iMessage to work. Apple changed everything. All hacks are down, so we were forced to call Apple now. Really? Do you really have to call? I don't buy that. I think that's gonna change. That'd be weird. I think there's always a way around that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, right now, I mean, you say all hacks are down, but mine's working fine on my Hackintosh. I'm not on Yosemite, but and that could be the difference. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think that'll change. Do I still have the PowerMac G5 case? My girlfriend's Hackintosh actually uses that. And we built her computer in that, and I still have my Corsair 600T case. So we do have it, but I just wanted a quieter case. I wanted more USB on the front, and overall, I like my 600T better than a G5 case, only because it has better cooling, much better cooling than the G5 case did. Because the G5 case, there was no side-mounted or top-mounted fans or anything without having to, cut the aluminum. So the only fans I had in there were the two 80 millimeters in the back, which not only didn't move too much air, but they were also very loud. So it was a loud case that didn't move enough air for me, and so I ended up just getting this case. And she likes the look of it because she has two cinema displays, so she has like an all Apple setup. So her computer looks really nice with the case. Yeah, my boss, 355 NR, awesome guy, really awesome guy. Go to Tony Mac x86 to find out all the parts that are compatible with OS 10. Yes, do that. How to remove boot zero done. That sounds like a 4K sector problem if you're booting off a hard drive. Although I have seen this happen with some solid states. It's weird. But go ahead. I have a video about this. Just Google boot zero error fix Hackintosh, and I'm sure you'll find my video. That's how you fix that. Thoughts on the Intel Pentium Anniversary Edition? I honestly don't know. I have never even heard of that before. I'm pretty behind right now. I've barely been online. By the way, it's unlocked. Okay, so that's neat. Dual core 3.2 gigahertz Haswell chip for 65. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it depends on the cooling though. I mean, it's unlocked, but if it doesn't cool well, then overclocking doesn't really matter at that point. So it kind of depends. Insanely Mac OS working fix, but if you want to fix fast, call Apple and check the forums. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. How to remove the boot zero done. Like I said, feel free to check out that video, very detailed video on that. Any way to add recovery partition to Unibeast build? Really want to enable file vault. That's something I've actually never looked into. I assume there's a way you can do it. I've never really had the need or want to do it, so I've just never done it. But I can look into that, but that's a good question for Tony Mac or Insanely Mac. Different apartment, yes. I ended up moving almost exactly a month ago. I've been here for about a month. Awesome place. I definitely like it a lot better than my old place. More space, actually a kitchen I can stand in and move in. It's not like a little shoebox anymore. So I think it's going to be better. Definitely a lot better than my old apartment. I've already loved it a lot more. So it's definitely a step up from what I've been used to. And this room is definitely bigger. It's bigger than it looks, I think, on camera. I have plenty of room in here. So it's also a nice location, especially in Pittsburgh. I mean, if you live in Pittsburgh, it's all, parallel parking. You have to park on the street. It's people everywhere. Where I live is like right outside the city, so I have my own driveway. I have my own lawn that I can actually do stuff in. So it's a nice place. Andy, you're an idiot. I have no words for you, sir. Linus Tech Tips got it to 4.7 with an H100. Wow, 1.35. That's not bad. I mean, I'm not that great at overclocking, and usually I'm pushing like 1.5 volts, and I don't want to go over that. That's really good. That's very very good. I wonder what that thing would benchmark. I don't know if he demonstrated that at all in the actual video, but some benchmarks in that would be really nice. CPU is great if you overclock and have a water cooling, of course. Yeah. Me myself in this build, I'm actually still using an air cooler. As like caveman as that might sound, I haven't made the jump to water cooling yet. So I plan to, but at the same time, I kind of want to wait for an all new build. So I don't know. I'll get around to it. Oh, park without me. Don't go to the park. I'll be off soon. Those watching, Tabitha Gonzalez in the chat. That's my girlfriend. She has a puppy she's taken to the park, and I want to go. I'll get off. Tour? Maybe. I might do a tour. We'll see if I have time. A lot of people do like tour videos, so I don't know. It could probably be worth it because, like I said, I know a lot of you guys do like the tour videos, so I might do it. We'll see. Like the video if you want to see a tour. You did a benchmark compared to a 4790K. Wow, that's a pretty high-end chip. Because of my motherboard, I got to 4.7 on an i7-3770. Yeah, as far as I know, Ivy Bridge does overclock a bit better than Haswell, at least in my experience. I mean, I haven't done it too much, but they're really pretty similar chips. Are you still building computers on RocheTechnology? They do not come with OS 10 pre-installed. That's illegal. I can't do that. That's how SciStar got shut down. I haven't built any lately. Just I haven't had much time. I've had a couple requests come through, but I'm thinking about closing the service just because I don't get too many builds to start out with, and there's just supporting them is really hard. It's hard to draw a line to say what I do and don't support, and so I've had good experiences with building people Hackintoshes. People love them, that use them to this day, that have used them for a couple of years now. But then there's other people that, as soon as something goes wrong, they expect that it's like a Mac and that I just know how to fix it, without even seeing the computer. And it's just not that simple. Then you have people getting mad at you, and there's just things about it that, I'm thinking about just kind of pulling the plug on it. It was good while it lasted. Got me through college. The extra money was really, really nice in college. But then again, I might keep it open, I'll see where it goes. Let's do a roundup of where everyone's watching and the local time, just for fun. Droid Apple Tech is watching from France, and it's 1 a.m. Here it's 7. So that means you're, like 6 hours ahead? Cap 2015, going to get a Volkswagen GTI 6-speed that you've always wanted with your new job. Leaving, that's for a video. I'll get back to you on that. Well, guys, I want to go to the park, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. It was good to catch up with you guys, and I'll probably post this video to the channel just because it's fun to do this stuff every once in a while. And now that my moving situation is calming down, I'm getting more and more used to my job routine. So the show, Terrell is producing this on Wirecast. We'll have Dante back here soon to get back into Tech Habit Weekly. It's going to be good. So I haven't died. I'm still alive, and content will be coming. So like I said, thank you guys very much for watching, and more content will be returning as I get more and more settled. And back to the car comment, like I said, video update coming on that. So thank you guys once again for watching, and I'll see you guys back here on the channel very soon. Talk to you later.